And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the very first edition of something special of the Chaos Open Cup number 1. It's Chaos or House? Chaos. Chaos Open Cup number 1. I'm, of course, Joseph VIP, and with me, I'm joined by my lovely plushies, the lovely people in the chat, but also by Kuro handling the production, and she'll be joining me later on for a cast later on in the tournament. But we are going to be digging ourselves into this one because we have our first matchup of the night. It is a ZvZ between these two lovely players. And, Zergs, they exist. We just wrapped up the Kung Fu Cup. And we didn't get to cast, it was like a 5-hour event, and we didn't get to cast a single Zerg. Just nothing but Terrans and Protoss. Pure Terran and Protoss for the entire tournament. And I am left wanting, Papi. I'm not satisfied. Oh, not like this. Not like this, but here we go. We have the Zerg players. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of side Delta, we have the Polish Zerg player himself representing Team and Fixed. It is Snoxtar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, also from the land of Poland. It is, representing CSO Esports, Trifax. Also, I'd ask production, don't forget the intros, the fanfares.
I definitely didn't forget, don't worry
about it. Oh god, as we are getting into this, and already Snoxtar going to be popping off here with a very peculiar opener. He's going to be going for a gas. First, gas into pull into hatchery, so a very aggressive opener out of our blue Zerg player. Meanwhile, Trifax across the map going for a hatch gas pull. Standard opener from the red Zerg, aggressive opener from the blue Zerg. Now, how is this aggressive? Well, with a faster gas, we do get faster link speed, and we can also go into a Baneling nest. So we can go straight for a Bane bust from here. We can go very aggressive, very all in. We'll see how committed Snoxtar is going to be as link speed starts up straight away. Link speed, 6 lings. We are not pulling out of gas, which means we will throw down a Baneling nest momentarily. We could try to go for a Roach Rush follow-up as well. That is possible. That is definitely available here. That is in the cards, but we'll see what Snoxtar goes for. For now, the lings are going to be moving out across the map, and we will have a very strong timing with link speed. And there it is. There is the Baneling nest from Snoxtar as well. So Ling Bane should be an all-in out of our blue Zerg player. Lings reveal themselves. This could be a pull first for all Trifax knows, so he's still in the dark as to what is going on. He doesn't know how committed and how aggressive Snoxtar really wants to be. Obviously, he knows that it's a late hatchery, but he doesn't know how early the gases are. As Lings are getting across the map, Baneling nest, safety Baneling nest is thrown down here for Trifax. So far, good reaction. Queens are coming out. Good SimCity as well, as long as we can wedge our queen in between the Baneling nest and this hatchery as well to avoid any kind of surround. There we go. We nicely do wedge our queen behind that. And we are flooding lings behind this. We are not droning. 16 drones is all that Snoxtar has. He is banking lings back at home, and he's morphing in Banelings across the map. Ooh, rough move out from Trifax. He's moving out across with slow lings. He's going to get caught. Uh-oh. He's going to get caught out. He's going to lose all of these things. He does intercept. He does trade relatively well, but he will still lose everything. And now Snoxtar can commit. We have 2 queens. No spine crawler. The Baneling nest just now finishes. The Baneling's waddled in, but there's nothing to kill. There's nothing to really go for. We don't want to waste them. We don't want to waste them on these queens. They go for the middle line, but there's nothing really to kill here either. As one of them goes off here on the lings. Yeah, waiting for reinforcing links to pop on in, and we get some decent connections, but again, the queens hold, Trifax defends, and Trifax is now in a commanding position. Again, really good SimCity, really good queen positioning. Banelings morph in, Trifax is miles ahead worker-wise, and Snoxtar, GG's out. GG. Trifax takes game number 1. Yeah, again, Snoxtar was just completely all in, and unfortunately, the all in was a little bit haphazard. We saw the Banelings came in a little bit prematurely. We saw the lings that were flooding across the map were kind of caught out, and they didn't have the best of trades, and it wasn't able to really come together. But on top of that, Trifax had a really good reaction out of our red Zerg player there. Really solid defense and very well executed. GG. Trifax takes a lead in this series and is 1 game away from taking it all and advancing on into the next round. Exclamation mark B in the chat. I'm assuming that the link is set up, but otherwise I'll post a link in the chat if you want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. We will go over the bracket once we wrap up this series. Don't worry, we'll go over it. We'll get there. We'll get there when it comes to the bracket. But there is a lot to go over, and I believe the entire first round is wrapping up. Also, a shout out to Indy. A shout out to Indy because there is a Polish caster as well. Indy is streaming over on his own personal channel in Polish, so they got you covered there in that over on that second stream. So much love to Indy. And after this initial series, we can also go over the event itself. I introduced what it was called, but not really what it is. So I should quickly mention that this is a Polish-only tournament, and this is not the first time that we've casted an event sponsored by Chaos, as they are a PC LAN cafe or a gamer bar over in the land of Poland, over in Warsaw, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe they have multiple venues around the country, and they have held LANs of StarCraft in the past. They have held them in the past, and we have casted them in the past as well, and this will all lead into another Polish LAN live in person. Before that happens, it's a 13-12. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Poland, representing Team M Fixed. Going for a 13-12, it is Snoxtar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player representing CSO Esports and leading the series 1-0. Getting 13-12, it is Trifax. Here we go. So the aggression is not stopping, not at all here, as we do have Snoxtar just going for something different. Remember, last game it was a gas pool hatch opener, but it was something a little bit later, and it led into that Lingbane all-in. This is an interesting variation of a 13-12, actually. We get link speed, but we pull out of gas. 13-12s usually have Bailey nests as well, but there is no nest. We are just flooding lings across the map. And we are going the long way around. We're going to try to avoid the scouting pattern of those overlords. I'm just sneezing. Don't mind me. I'm dying. It's all good. It's all good. Hatchery is being taken as well. Interesting. So I think we just want to tell a story. I think we're just trying to fake out Trifax here as we do go for that hatchery. Overlord is coming in for a scout, and we are just banking lings back at home. Now revealing some, making it look like a pull first. But the jig is up, and the lings have arrived. Immediately, Spinecrawler. Spinecrawler's on the way for Trifax. Lings as well as defensive. Bailey nest out of Trifax. Oh my god. Doing everything he needs to defend, and so far looking good. Now Snoxtar is all in. He's all in with this. There's no workers, there's no macroing out of this. Ling speed does kick in, and he's going to be able to take down a couple of these lings. But again, Snoxtar, he's looking to end the game. He's looking to catch the queen. He does get us around queen. No! Pulls back because the Spinecrawler doesn't quite catch the queen. He will get the hatchery, but killing a hatchery is not good enough. He gets the queen at the end. Gets a full surround. Good catch here from Snoxtar. As he's laying siege upon that base. Behind this Snoxtar, he is droning, by the way, up as he catches another surround. Gets another queen. And will bring it down. Good trades here from our blue Zerg player. Banelings are being morphed in, but we are not making any more lings. Snoxtar, he's droning, he's chilling, he's getting his own Spinecrawler. Up! Trading 2 lings for 1 Baneling. Pretty good trade overall. Another good trade, and can he get the last Baneling? Up! He wants it! He wants it, he will not get it in the end. And now we need to take stock. Now we need a moment to go over everything that's going on. Now, Snoxtar, he is pretty even in workers. He has been able to catch up in the worker count. He's been mining from his natural base, which is more than I can say for Trifax. And he has link speed. He is skipping his Baneling nest. He's going straight for 2-base Roach. Trifax across the map has delayed link speed. Because of the prioritization of the Banelings, because he assumed it was all in, Trifax, he committed a lot to this defense. He lost 2 queens. He lost a Spinecrawler. Things not looking ideal here for Trifax. Not looking ideal as he is droning on up behind this, but he's behind it tech-wise. Trifax from here, it would be wise to expand and take a third. Maybe even the gold. That'd actually be a pretty good option right now for Trifax. To expand, try to take the gold base. But the Roach Warren is done. Trifax going straight for a lair. Okay, this could be for potentially 2-base Muta. Gases are now being taken. Only one extra gas here in the main. Meanwhile, Snoxtar, he's just building himself up, getting fully saturated on 2 bases, working on +1 range. I'm surprised that we don't have a Roach Warren here from our Zerg player. He's making roaches. A bit odd. Hunts down an Overlord. There it is, 4 gases, but we are going for a Roach Warren here for Trifax. But yeah, I'm concerned. So the lair is really late from Snoxtar. What I mean by that is, with a late lair, that means late roach speed. And that means a late push. That means that Snoxtar, he's stuck at home. He is stuck at home. Meanwhile, Trifax, he's just taking up even further. He is cutting workers really early on, and there it is. There is that. I assumed it would be a Spire. I was thrown off by the Roach Warren, but 2-base Mutas are coming out from Trifax. And thankfully for Trifax, this is a delayed lair. It is a very late lair out of Snoxtar, which means Trifax is under no threat. He doesn't know this. He hasn't seen the lair timing, but we can see that Snoxtar, again, he shouldn't be pushing out anytime soon. So Trifax, he's just going to be chilling back at home, banking up his lava, droning up. He's getting extra spine crawlers. Now, are we going to push out here with +1? I guess we are. Okay. We're moving out. We're going to be hitting a timing here with +1. No roach speed, so it's going to take a little bit longer. We are waddling the spine crawler across the map. Let's go. He's crazy. The queens, the spine crawler, the roaches, they're all waddling across the map. A very offbeat hatch tech timing. The lair is now done. Roach speed is now on the way after the attack is already coming out. So this is a little bit jumbled, a little bit chaotic, but regardless, it's here. And can we kill Trifax? Can we pull this off? 2 spine crawlers are done. We can transfuse. We can transfuse, and we will barely keep that spine crawler alive a little bit longer, but we're breaking through. We have 9 mutas in production. Snoxtar, he needs to get on top of these spine crawlers as well, and there's just so much to work through. 1 spine crawler will finish. The queens are going down. The rest of the army is about to rock up here with a couple of queens for anti-air. The mutas reveal themselves. And there's only 2 queens. 2 queens is not going to be enough. Imagine if this was a spore crawler instead of a spine. As the roaches are going for the mineral line, they're going for the workers. Right into the main. Meanwhile, the queens are a little bit distracted. The roaches are getting a couple of drone kills, but they're getting completely cleaned up. But it looks like Snoxtar has done it. It looks like he has done it. There are just too many roaches. Too many drones should go down. God, the spine crawler even coming into play. The mutas will eventually clean this up. That is true. And we do have a little bit of wasted DPS here, but Snoxtar, can he get the base? Can he get the hatchery? No. Not quite. He gets 16 workers, sneaks into the main base as well. A little bit of mispathing from these roaches. Bit awkward. And this is not enough damage. Trifax is down to 32 workers, but Snoxtar himself only has 38. 37 now. He doesn't have the biggest economic lead. We're even in workers. And these mutas give Trifax map control. He's going to be able to chase down these overlords, supply block his opponent, and dance between these bases. Now we have a spore crawler at every base, thankfully. We do have spores. We do have queens. Snoxtar, he should be able to hold on. Snoxtar, he is holding onto his bases, yes, but he doesn't have the best economy. Trifax is happily joining. He is fully saturated here at his 3rd base. He's taking his gases. Oh my god, at the same time, Snoxtar, he comes in for a big backstab. Oh my god, the roaches, they get across up. They're going for the hatchery. They're going for the natural. Ah, what a mess. And they get to the natural base. They take down the Nat. They go for the main. They go for the third. Drones are going down. Snoxtar, he is not taking this lying down. He could still do with some more drones. I would like some more drones from him. But he's making it happen. His roaches are being cleaned up though. Trifax trying to transition into a more roach heavy composition instead. He still has a lot of mutas. That is 13 mutas here from Trifax. Trifax still has a worker lead. He's going for the goal base as well. So just make some drones. Just a couple of workers. That's all we need, Poppy. Just get fully saturated. As in Snoxtar, he refuses to drone. He's going all in instead. This guy is crazy. Oh my god. Like, we could go for a more secure, safer macro game, like get fully saturated, work towards like an infestation pit for fungals or for hive tech for vipers. Nah, man, we go all in, Papi. This is the downside. We can't transfuse. You cannot transfuse off of creep, and the queens are going down. They're keeping the mutas busy though, and the main army is pushing through the center of the map. We do have a roach army for Trifax though. He does have a force. But is it enough? The hatchery goes down. The mutas, they could not get past the queens. And Snoxtar, he is breaking through. Breaking into the natural once again. And we need to keep on pushing. We need to keep on going. Instead, Snoxtar, he's kiting back to the queens. And we're getting closer to the creep. We need to transfuse. Get onto the creep, Papi. And with the help of these queens, it looks like this all-in from Snoxtar is going to work. Again, the queens are here. They can actually support each other now on creep. Spreading it onto the creep of Trifax. Let's go. Creating a highway, creating a way up the ramp. As sure, Trifax, he may have the gold, but it won't even matter. As Snoxtar has too much. The all-in has worked. The mutas cannot engage. And the roaches bust into the main. GG gets called. And Snoxtar ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god. We're going all the way, Papi. All the way. To the ace match. And that was impressive. That was impressive from Snoxtar, but also really risky. the way that he plays like a madman. Aye. It's like, Papi, you can just get further ahead, just drone up, you can tech, you're already in a good position. He's like, nah, mate, we're not gonna make a single worker, gonna make nothing but queens and roaches, okay? My god. Okay. I mean, it works. Who am I to say otherwise? As we're getting into our next game. We're getting into our third lobby here. Game 3 is going to be on Hecate. Oh, here we go. Polish Biweekly? Yeah. Biweekly. Hello, Night Phoenix. Hello in the chat. Welcome. Oh, good. Yes, good luck in the qualifiers. We will also be casting the qualifiers. Of course. Always. Yo, shout out to Danskik in the chat. Hello, Danskik. Dzień dobry, papi. Dzień dobry. Good to see you. Danskik, of course, I believe is an old school caster. I believe you were casting the previous live events, if I'm not mistaken. At the Chaos Bar. As we're getting into, maybe Kirk can correct me, but we are getting into some spawning. Oh my god, as we go for a 12 pool here in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team MY Fixed. It is Snoxtar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing CSO Esports, also from the land of Poland. It is Trifax. We are tied up 1-1. Snoxtar, of course, forcing us to go all the way to the ace match. And I was curious if we were going to go for something crazy like a 12-11, but no, this is a straight up 12 pull. This is aggressive, yes, but it is not all in unless we pull the boys. There are variations where you just pull the workers and you just let Jesus take the wheel, you know, just send it, Poppy, send it. But I believe, yeah, we're expanding. We are expanding behind this, so this is a macro variation. The way this works is that you get an abundance of lings early on, and you want to kill workers. You want to try to get some economic damage and get ahead in the worker count while you make workers behind this. As we are just moving out with 6 lings, we have 4 more behind this, 10 lings in total. And again, you're looking for drone kills. Back at home, Hatch, Gas Pool, Standard Opener out of Trifax. Nothing too crazy. Trifax once again is going to take the role of the defender. Snoxtar, the aggressor. Here we go. As the Lings have arrived, already going to be applying some pressure here to the natural base. Boys are being pulled because they have to be. Trifax cannot afford to lose this hatchery because Snoxtar is expanding behind this. Again, Snoxtar is not all in. He's droning. Oof. And so far, 1 drone does get picked off. A 2nd drone as well. 3rd drone even. Really good damage so far by Snoxtar. Trifax unable to pull back in time, and he's in a bit of trouble here. These drones are taking a lot of hits, but the Lings do come out. They do pop out in time. Oh, but this is still getting a bit out of hand here as more Lings go down. We get 2 more drones before getting cleaned up. And after all this is too much, he's going for more. He wants another drone. Up. He gets 1. He gets 2 more. This is too much. Trifax down to 11 workers. Ay, ay, ay. Disastrous. Bearing in mind that Trifax pulled out of gas, so there's no link speed. There's no counterattack potential. The 1 link still survives. Snoxtar, he takes a worker lead. Behind this, he should be walling off. He should be walling off here at the natural, skipping link speed, skipping banelings, and going straight for a Roach Warren. 2 base Roach should be the follow-up here from Snoxtar. He's up to 24 drones. Oh my god. Trifax going for a counterattack, but he's going to run into a wall of queens. And against all these queens, he can't do anything. Again, the drone drilling, the drone control there was lacking from Trifax. He's looking to hunt down an Overlord if possible with these queens. He's going to get us around. He could even force a cancel. Whatever he can get done does force a cancel, and he will find an Overlord. Again, there is a lot of pressure on Trifax to somehow equalize, and he will supply block Snoxtar. Again, that was an oversight from our Blue Zerg player. Meanwhile, he's walling off. There's that Evo Chamber and the Roach Warren. So 2 base Roach is coming out from our Blue Zerg player, which does make plenty of sense. Trifax, he needs a 3rd. He needs to take this 3rd base. He needs to drone up as heavily as possible as well. As Snoxtar is moving on out. With this, he's going to get a read of this 3rd. He's also going to force out Lings. Or at least force the Lings to turn back around. Meanwhile, Snoxtar is still just droning, saturating his bases. Lings, they try to slip by, and they will just barely. Gonna go for a full scout. They confirm there are no additional gases, no fast lair. The lair timing just now starts. Oh, as we do not get another drone. Likewise, Snoxtar, his lair is pretty comparable to that of Trifax. +1 is on the way. Gases are being taken. And Snoxtar is basically building up towards a 2 base Roach push with +1 and Roach speed. Now, it's on Snoxtar if he wants to push on 2 bases or expand and take a 3rd. He can do either or. He doesn't have to go all in, but he can. And Trifax, he himself is going to have to try to drone up while he can, and then make sure he has a large enough Roach army to defend the counterattack, to defend the push. There's that 3rd on the way. So Snoxtar, again, not all in. Lair is about to finish up, which grants access to +2 and Roach speed. So Snoxtar, he should be working on a +2 timing. Should be. As for now, he is moving out with his roaches. He does reveal the move out as well. He's forcing out a spine crawler. Again, because Trifax is slightly behind, he does have to invest in static defense. And Snoxtar, I almost called him Snorlax. God, every time. He is just posturing with this army. He doesn't have to commit, but he can. Looking at the unit tab, Snoxtar, he's on 17 roaches against the 5 of Trifax. Trifax has been able to squeeze out a couple of extra drones. And Snoxtar backs off. He was just posturing. He just postured, moved out, then went back home. Again, he wants to hit a later timing. Oh, he has not started +2, though. Ay. Spire is on the way. Trifax is putting his opponent on a timer. This Spire will not be scouted. Meanwhile, Snoxtar is not droning. Because of course he isn't droning. Because he doesn't drone. That's not who he is. Now, a regular Zerg player would be taking their gases here, would be droning up their third base. Now, we see the lack of saturation, and here we go. Snoxtar is going all in. The creep highway is upon us. Trifax, can he react in time? He does have a pretty large roach army himself. 20 roaches against the 32 of Snoxtar. As long as he makes use of the high ground, he can defend, but he misses the army. The roaches, they go straight for the third base. And Trifax is not going to be able to defend it. He knows he doesn't have enough to hold on. Third base goes down. From here again, Snoxtar. He can't drone, but he won't. He's going to commit. He's pushing in. Good transfuse. Transfuses are holding on. It looks like Trifax, he will hold. And from here, finally we drone. This is something that Snoxtar could have been doing earlier. We could have been droning earlier. Now we're taking gases. And this is a scary moment because Snoxtar, he did a lot of damage, right? He killed the base, killed workers, but he hasn't seen the Spire. He doesn't know that mutas are on the way, and he has no answer. Looking at the unit tab, we have 3 queens. Snoxtar, he has 1 queen injecting each base. No spores, no hydrogen, no infestation pit, no scout. He is moving out again. Looking at the army tab, roach armies are pretty comparable, which means Snoxtar actually can't kill his opponent. Snoxtar also hasn't started +2. Again, a big oversight here from Snoxtar if the game goes on any longer. The mutas have revealed themselves. Snoxtar once again going to try to force his way up the ramp. He does create an opening. And here we go. He does have an overwhelming roach army. He's going to try to bust his way through, but alas, he cannot. The spine crawler, the queens, the defender's advantage. Oh, that was a wasteful attack out of Snoxtar. He's bleeding out so much. Back at home, queens and a hydroden. Snoxtar, he had such a solid position earlier, but alas, wasn't able to recognize what was going on. He brings his queens forward. Can he survive? Trifax is droning. As more overlords go down, and Snoxtar likewise also needs to drone. He needs these gases. His lack of droning earlier is really hurting him. And it will impact the size of his army. That's why Trifax is snowballing out of control. The gap in supplies are widening. Now, we do have some Hydras on the way. So, Snoxtar, he has to be careful not to overmake them. You make a handful of Hydras, but that's it. Because looking at the units tab once again, Trifax, he only has 5 mutas. Like, there are barely any mutas here. They're only for map control. And they shut down every single overlord. Trifax basically playing with map hacks here. Just has overlords everywhere. His opponent doesn't. Even taking a 4th base with these gold minerals. And Snoxtar, he's falling further and further behind. He's still making more Hydras, which again, we don't need that many. He's now working on +2, doesn't have +1 carapace. He's still not fully saturated on 3 bases. Still lacking drones. And in a couple of moments, Trifax is about to max out. is about to max out with a pure Roach Ravager army. At this point, Trifax, he can afford to throw away the mutas. We're still making more Hydras. We're still making more Hydras. And in Roach v Roach, Hydras, they're not ideal. They don't trade anywhere near as efficiently. But here we go. The armies are moving out. Now, if Snoxtar were to work on lurkers, then this would be a different story. You know, I'd be like, oh, let's go. But there is no lurker den. There are no lurkers. So Snoxtar's army is just straight up worse. This Roach run by is being caught out, though. Not really getting too much done. Doesn't get a queen. A lot of Roaches go down for free. A good moment here for Snoxtar. And this is just giving Snoxtar the opportunity to max out. As Trifax is at 200 supply. And Snoxtar, he's slowly catching up. Oof. But Snoxtar, he's out of position. The Hydras are exposed. Ugh, they are being forced back. A good concave here out of Trifax, avoiding the Biles. Likewise, so is Snoxtar, but you can see Trifax just closing the gap here, collapsing on top of the Hydras. And here come the reinforcements from behind. A brutal fight there for Snoxtar. He loses most of his army, an expensive army. Trifax, he backs off, he remaxes, rebuilds. Is going to be losing a lot of his Ravagers, but we have plenty of reinforcements coming in. Snoxtar, he will barely hold on here. Meanwhile, the goal base is being saturated. It's been prioritized. Trifax has just such a superior economy at this point. Now, there is a world where maybe Snoxtar can outposition his opponents. Maybe. And catch Trifax off guard. But that's really what he has to rely on. Oh my god, we even have Burrow. This is going to be an awkward engagement. Hydra's being caught from both ends. The mutas are coming in as well. Mutas should go down. Finally, they do get cleaned up, at least. But again, you can see Trifax forced to back off. Oh, sorry, Snoxtar forced to back off. Trifax just forcing his way through. Biles will connect. And the Trifax has done it. He's brought it back. It was a roller coaster ride of a match, back and forth. But in the end, Snoxtar will lose his entire army. GG gets called, and Trifax will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Whew, it went the distance, and again, I was really impressed by Snoxtar. Obviously, Trifax is the favorite player. He's more well-known, he's higher ranked, but a shout out to Snoxtar because he made his opponent work for it. And even in this game, he had certain advantages. And he had his own, again, he had certain leads as well. So very well done. Very well done and very well played. Shout out to Snoxtar. But my condolences as he is knocked out of the tournament, and Trifax advances on to face off against his next opponent. And now is the time where we can have a look at the bracket. GG.